Greetings and welcome to the Introduction to Astronomy. In this week's Astronomy of Other Cultures, we are continuing our look at Muslim astronomy, and we'll talk about the astronomer Ulugh Beg and look at his contributions to astronomy. So let's go ahead and get started. So Ulugh Beg lived from 1394 to 1449 and worked on astronomy and mathematics in Persia. He is well known for having built a very large observatory and various centers of learning, which included the great Samarkand Observatory, which was the largest in Central Asia. And that was a great observatory, and here we see a reproduction of that, honoring his work in building a great observatory. And the whole idea behind it was to make a very large observatory and to get more accurate observations. In order to do that, you needed bigger instruments, which were larger sextants. Remember, we're still pre-telescope here, so we do not have telescopes for our observations. We use sextants to be able to determine the positions. And the larger the sextant, the more finely divided the angular measures would be, and the more accurate positions we are going to be able to determine. He also helped with creating the Ulugh Beg Madrasa, which was, again, a center of learning. Now, in terms of astronomy, some of the things that were done were to compile the Zij Sultani in 1437, and this was a great star catalog. Now, this was based on the catalogs of Ptolemy that were used and had nearly 1,000 stars. But the whole idea was to improve positions and to correct errors, because many reproductions of Ptolemy's work just carried along various errors that were made at the time. And the whole idea was to make the corrections, to make new observations, and to observe the positions of these stars more accurately than had ever done before. So again, we're trying to get more and more accurate observations from his work. And we can see some of those tables of his here, and some of the tables of the very accurate positions that were then recorded and used. Now, some of the other things that were measured were including measured values for the length of the year and the tilt of Earth. And these were done with extremely high precision and were actually more accurate than those values that Copernicus came up with. So, based on those very accurate observations from the observatory, I should say from the Samarkand Observatory, to be able to get even more accurate observations and better precision than would be used by Copernicus coming up in the next 100 years or 100 years or so. So let's go ahead and finish up then with our summary and talk a little bit about what we covered briefly today. And we talked about Ulugh Beg, who lived from 1394 to 1449, and known for his work on astronomy in Persia, and built the great observatory and compiled the most accurate star catalog of this era. So that concludes this discussion of Ulugh Beg. We'll be back again next week to talk about another astronomer of the Muslim world. So until then, have a great day, everyone, and I will see you in class.